This is the Astro Tarot Show, and I am your celestial host, Serona Rose. Thank you so much for joining tonight. We do have some things to talk about. As I stated before in my previous shows, March, April, and May were going to be months where significant changes are taking place. And this week, as we are still reeling off of that Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse energy, we are going to have another shift coming up. It's going to be relatively quiet, but there's a lot of aspects that are going on that really influence the energy here. So I'll be talking about astrology from May the 10th through May the 17th today. And like I said, we do have some things going on, not as active as they have been, but this week is going to kind of give us, we will have a big shift we have to deal with. So we're going to be grateful that we don't have so much more. On a good note, Mercury will be going direct on the 11th, but then we'll have Jupiter that will move into Taurus. So before I go any further, I want to talk about what is happening, and we'll go into some more details with that information I just gave you. So the Scorpio full moon was at 15 degrees of Scorpio, and that is the Sabian symbol for that are children playing around 5 mounds of sand. And what the energy here is self-integrity, and there is a feeling of naivety, that newness, as we see how children, when they are when children are new, they see the world with this beautiful this beautifulness that is just unique. It's like it's seeing everything for the first time. So they're just opening their eyes wide and taking it in, but they're also thinking about the possibility, right? So it is naive in a way, because everything is so new, right? And the number 5 is about change, and that is the capacity of the mind to penetrate further to one's desires and dreams. This is going into some unknown realms and discover these new realms, but also create from those, right? There's this it's like a feeling of unlimited possibility. When you have 5 mounds of sand, that means that you're going to be, what can I create from this? So you are taking this one thing and making it into another, and that is Scorpio. That is alchemy, and that is what Scorpio is known for, is for working and remolding, and that's a good thing. So let's look at a few things here. On the 7th, Venus at 3 degrees of Cancer is sextile Pluto. Pluto is still at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Like I discussed last week, he is retrograde now. And so, this is going to really impact us because on the 12th, because by the 12th, Pluto will be in a sextile with Mercury. So what we are seeing here is she's having that disillusionment going on, right? She's not, from Neptune being in Pisces as well, that water energy, she's having a bit of disillusionment, and she is trying to rebuild from this, right? She's trying to go forward and heal in the home. When Venus is in Cancer, this is a very healing energy. So, but Neptune, not only Neptune is the friend there. Neptune is going to help her rebuild. Neptune is the one that's going to help her dive deeper and to build better, build more secure. Cancer is about security. So we can see her do that. Now on the 9th, the sun conjunct Uranus, and this is some shocking news. Now this can't be overnight, but this is news that is going to happen. This is something, and we're seeing some of the stuff right now happen, all the unveiling or the revealing. The sun, you know, the full moon has illuminated those shadows, and we're starting to see that. But when the sun meets up to sun meets up to Uranus, this is going to be something very shocking. This is going to be an instance of, like, it's going to take you back a bit. It's going to take you a minute, like, you know, you're not expecting this, like, hitting you out of nowhere. Okay, so we can see that energy coming about. I mean, there's things coming out right now, but, you know, hey, we're not there yet. So what can it possibly be? So on the 9th, we have that energy going on. So by the 12th, Mercury is going to sextile Saturn, and then Saturn is going to Mercury is also going to have a sextile with Venus. So here we're getting guidance. She's getting guidance on how to go forward, on how to go from here. By the 13th, Venus will form a square with Saturn. So that's going to change some of that energy. And it's going to, when Saturn squares Venus, it's going to really help that build that structure that needs to be there. The 14th, which is Mother's Day, and I think I said the 11th a while ago, but anyway, Mercury goes direct on the 12th there, and that is at 11:17 p.m. Eastern Time. And please note that all of my times are in the Eastern Time Zone. So this will help us as he stations. He will slow down, and we're kind of feeling it right now, that kind of lagging. It's like you can't go forward, but that is him slowing down. And when he does, he will station, he will go direct, and that will help the energy go on. By the 15th, Mars is going to trine Neptune, and that's going to help us let go that shocking news, that shocking thing that happened to us when the sun met up with Uranus. This aspect is going to allow us to let go of it, to understand that, you know, this is not good for me. This is just not good for me. So, but, you know, I will say that this is something that we have been feeling for a while, because this past lunar eclipse, it connected us to the Taurus lunar eclipse that we had in November. So this is saying that, you know, there's something here that we've known for a while, and we just didn't. Maybe we thought we could fix it. Maybe we thought we could do better. Maybe we thought that we could, you know, we were afraid to change. We were afraid to go forward. That is scary. So, you know, this is something that we have been feeling, and it is letting go of those things that don't empower us. You know, look at your environment. It is amazing to me how many times we can allow ourselves to get in an environment that is not healthy for us, that is not safe for us, that does nothing but beat us down. And to allow ourselves to do that, and that's where Venus is. She's in that house of Cancer and getting some healing there. It's healing our emotions, some emotional trauma, and, you know, kind of letting that let go. When Mars and Neptune, that energy is saying it's okay to let go. Mars is, I mean, they will fight to the bitter end, but sometimes the fight is just not worth it anymore. There's just been too much. So we have to have that let go. The 16th, Jupiter is going to move into Taurus at 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is very harmonious energy. This is going to be really nice. So we have Taurus, that is about money, and then we have Jupiter, which is about expansion. So this could be good for us. You know, of course, this depends on how it falls into your birth chart, but this is really good energy. This is conservative energy as well. And this is expanding into our values. What do we value? What do we love? What offers us security? Because let's face it, there's a lot of chaos that's going on in our world right now. And there's a lot of places where people live that are just, you know, downright dangerous. So, you know, this is going to really tune us into our values. What do we value? You know, our hard work. We work hard for things and we achieve them. And if we want them and we value them, we take care of them, right? Also, what is it that you love? You know, and your Taurus can be surface, right? But the other side of Taurus, the opposite is Scorpio, which is the deeper, the underneath. We can't really place all of our value into those external things that come and go, right? So this is shifting us, and the past few years has really been shifting us because we are seeing this energy. We are seeing all of it. All of this chaos is like it's like a dredge going down and dredging the bottom of the river. This is what you get. All of this stuff that has been overlooked, that hasn't been dealt with, that those powers that have went past boundaries and over exceeded their reach. You know, those places that take advantage, those, you know, all of this, all of the unseen, all of these things that are not dealt with, and there was no accountability. These things are all rising to the surface. So we're trying to move in this and creating. I will say, with Jupiter and Taurus, be careful with overspending. Okay, that is the negative side of it. Remember, we're in that duality. So where there is good, there is bad. And that same thing, when this can be really good, we can be doing good really financially. That can also lead us to overspending and putting ourselves into debt that can hurt us later. So be careful for that. Now, on the 17th, the moon will conjunct Jupiter, and then Jupiter will square Pluto. Okay, this energy, Pluto is in Aquarius, and this is about society, but Jupiter is in Taurus. Okay, this is about our finances. So we're looking at security, and we're looking at how it's being impacted from outside sources. Okay, by the 19th, we're going to have that new moon in Taurus at 11:53 a.m. and that'll be 28 degrees and 25 minutes. But by 1:51 p.m., the moon will be void, of course, and then will move into the sign of Gemini by 2:48 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on the 20th, Mars moves into Leo, and this is going to be another energy shift as well. So we began April with Mercury in Taurus, and then by the 22nd of April, Mercury went retrograde. And like I stated, it can feel a little stalled, but it is because, you know, he is getting ready to go direct. Also, with Pluto retrograde, he went retrograde on the 1st. This is also adding some little bit of little crazy energy that's happening. When planets are retrograde, they are closer to the Earth, so that is when the energy is felt the most. So that's why these energies, these ripples happen, is because when they start slowing down to go retrograde, that is when they're that closest. And this is, you have to think, if we're constantly in motion, okay, and then something, no matter, if it's the size of Jupiter or the size of Pluto, when it slows down, we're going to feel this, especially Mercury. Mercury is a very fast moving planet. So when he slows down, we really feel this. And I want to add that those planets that take longer to orbit, those are the energies that are going to be felt the longest. Okay? So there's a lot going on, and we need to, there's a lot of things going on. So this may be a good time to hold on to our thoughts and our actions a little bit. It can be, Mercury is going to go direct at 5 degrees of Taurus, and he will not be out of the shadow until, what is that, the 23rd? He will not be out of the shadow until May the 31st. So when he moves past 15 degrees of Taurus, that will feel like that we're going forward. But until then, it's going to feel, it's like we're coming out of it, right? It's when Mercury is retrograde, we are remembering, we are reprioritizing, we are doing those things that, trying to set things better, right? We're trying to get it right. We know that we've missed something, so we're trying to get it right. And we're coming out of that whole shadow time is just kind of, we're shaking things off. So maybe we want to go too fast, but we have to be careful that we don't go too fast. In Aries, especially with Jupiter in Aries, we were rewarded for that knee-jerk reaction. We were rewarded for that, but when Jupiter moves into Taurus, we are going to be held accountable. So this is where we need to make sure that we are acting and responding in correct ways. We need to be mindful of this. Taurus energy is all about determination. So and Taurus doesn't really like change either. They like the same old, the practical. So when this energy is happening, he's still determined, he's still going forward. Now, when Venus moves into Cancer, I really want to talk about this because this is really, really big here. As Venus moved into Cancer, she joined Mars. Now, Venus in Gemini, that's like go with the flow, just whatever. But in Cancer, we become emotionally grounded, and we're going to have 2 weeks of these cosmic lovers within this watery sign together. And this is really going to to help us balance some of our energies. Venus is what we like and what we want. That is our idea of pleasure, whereas Mars is how we get it. It's about the physical part of it. Mars is physical. It is the physical engagement, taking it on. So this is sweet energy. This is nurturing energy on both the masculine, the divine masculine, and the feminine, your cosmic lovers. But guys, this is very sensual energy as well. And this can be nostalgic. This is in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer can be looking back, being nostalgic, and holding on to things that, remembering the good times and holding on to those things. So one thing I want us to remember is that the moon reflects the sun, and we want to, we get in those places where we want to settle in. We want to settle into these energies and get comfortable. And I'll use what Cancer likes that that security, right? And it will suck it up. And this too is that energy. It just wants to get all that it can out of it. And when a planet changes signs, it's going to make a ripple. So when right now, where Pluto is sitting at 0 degrees of Aquarius, when any of the planets make a change, it is going to have an aspect to Pluto. So Cancer is quincunx to Aquarius. So we can feel some irritation during this time, as we can feel an undercurrent of something that's going on. Venus in Cancer, she wants personal security. That is very important to her. And things may be happening, and things may be happening really quickly and kind of throw us off a little bit, so we're losing that security. Things are happening also, with Pluto here. This is in society. So with Venus in Cancer wanting that personal security, with Pluto, with her in that quincunx with Pluto, this is about society. So this is something that's irritating one from society. It's about safety and security of the self and home. And we can see this in our world, like I stated before. On the 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're going to have a series of movement here. So the sun is going to meet up with Uranus at 18 degrees and 56 minutes. And that's the exact alignment. Again, this is excitement. This is an awakening. This is, Uranus is the awakener. So we are, when you've seen how when lightning strikes the ground, you can see how it just lights up for a moment. It lights everything up. So what once was dark to us and unknown is now available to us, and we can see it in the dark. So we have that instance of clarity, kind of like an aha moment, where everything we're starting to see with great clarity. We're learning things. I will say that these are going to be the 8th, 9th, and 10th are going to be profound days. If you journal, make sure that you are writing this down. Make sure that you are really paying attention to what's going on, because this can really be, you can have some bright ideas here. Things that were cut off from you before will be available. Uranus will have his way. So this is also when things are changing. Uranus is going to have his way. It's not something that we can stop. It's not something that we can fix. Again, Uranus is going to have his way, and he is awakening. And this is, I can say that with this 8th, 9th, and 10th, with the sun meeting up with Uranus and all of this, this is the culmination of that lunar eclipse that we just had in Scorpio. This is going to be that, moment. So be open. We have to be open with that. By the 10th, Venus is going to have that half square with Uranus. Again, this is some more excitement. This is personal. So this is to yourself. It's going to be exciting. It's something happening that is something out of the blue. This is, like a surprise sort of thing. So I will say that again, and I'm going to state this again, Uranus shatters our comfort zone. He is an awakener. He takes us out of that norm, of that rut, and says, oh, no, 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 no. Come on, we got to go. And with, Venus in Cancer, it wants comfort, right? It's going to milk the goodness all that it can. And I will add that with Uranus and how he's behaving, he's reminding us sometimes that just because you have something on your mind doesn't mean you need to say it. There is a right time and a right place for it. So by the 12th, Mercury will sextile Saturn and Venus, and then Venus will trine Saturn. And that is going to stabilize energy here. That's giving us Venus and Saturn aspect is going to give us some emotional grounding and stability. And that's exactly what is needed as we get through this, because between the 12th and 13th, Mercury barely moves. Basically stationary again. Saturn is happy about that. He's having a sextile with Saturn on one side and Venus on another. So there's not really active in our actions, but you know, we have to understand that, you know, to proceed slowly, because our actions will yield results, okay? So this is about making those decisions. Now, on the 14th, that is when Mercury stations, and Saturn will slow things down as well, make things real. And by the 15th, Mars reaches 27 degrees of Cancer, and he will also have a trine with Neptune, and that will be at 9:44 a.m. So this is going to be those actions that are based on illusion. We have to be very careful with that. We need to move with grace, okay? Move with that energy. These are the last days that Jupiter will be in Aries, and I know that it kind of feels like we have to make these moves right now, but we don't. We got time. Remember, when Aries is quick, it wants to go, and that's great. But many times they just go, and they don't finish, right? So when Jupiter is moving into Taurus, that is going to give us that endurance to be able to finish what we have started. So don't think you have to rush. It's okay. Allow the blooming to take place. Allow the process. This is mid-month energy, and we're being shown that if we keep showing up, okay, and we keep being persistent, that we will get there. So we have to be persistent, and we have to be focused in this. When Jupiter moves into that fixed sign, that's really going to help us with determination to see things through. And that's what we need to do, is see things through. Not start a bunch of stuff and just leave them there. We need to start these things, see them through, and make it happen. Now, I will say that Jupiter expands, so what was hidden will come out loud here in this by on the 17th, because Jupiter will then have that square with Pluto, and that will be at 9:11 p.m. on the 17th. So what has been happening out of sight, out of mind, that is going to come out, and we are going to have another round of awareness. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff already coming out, and we are going to have more and more. We're going to have some issues that we can no longer ignore. The sun will, on the 18th, the sun will sextile Neptune, so that is going to bring the good out of Neptune. So this is going to kind of balance out. But again, we're going to have to be very careful. We don't need to react and have those knee-jerk reactions. There's an unfoldment going on. You don't have to go so fast. And the finish line is going to be there. When you're building something, and you're building something with that you want to be very secure and have that strong foundation, take your time with it. Aries energy is wonderful to begin things, but it's not good for finishing things. Taurus is that stamina that we need, that endurance to see things through to the end. And that is it for the astrology part of the show. I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for the divination part, and I'll see you back in a second.